really, there are not enough wives to go around. There are not enough wives to go around for the average man. There are more OnlyFans workers, sex workers, and cam models than there are teachers in this country under the age of 35. And when we look at the average woman, 1 out of 3 has had an abortion, 1 out of 4 has had an STD, and 90% have been on birth control at some point in their lives. I would argue that it is not always in men's best interest to get married. Imagine, okay, you had to sign, you got a contract, and this contract says that your partner has all of the leverage. And this contract says your business partner is paid to leave you. Yes, they're paid to break this contract. And this business partner will be rewarded for ruining your life financially and emotionally. If we take the religion out of it, because the facts don't care about your religion, I'm sorry, I'm a Catholic, but we have to be honest here. You would never sign that contract. But the truth of the matter is, until child custody laws change, you will not see women act different. Really, there are not enough wives to go around. There are not enough wives to go around for the average man. There are more OnlyFans workers, sex workers, and cam models than there are teachers in this country under the age of 35. And when we look at the average woman, 1 out of 3 has had an abortion, 1 out of 4 has had an STD, and 90% have been on birth control at some point in their lives. I would argue that it is not always in men's best interest to get married. Imagine, okay, you had to sign, you got a contract, and this contract says that your partner has all of the leverage. And this contract says your business partner is paid to leave you. Yes, they're paid to break this contract. And this business partner will be rewarded for ruining your life financially and emotionally. If we take the religion out of it, because the facts don't care about your religion, I'm sorry, I'm a Catholic, but we have to be honest here. You would never sign that contract. But the truth of the matter is,
This is why men are just walking away from toxic women. Stay single and avoid all the pain and drama. Remember, accountability is like kryptonite to women. Never get married ever. It's just a trap.
There was a study done in the 90s, and what they found out, I think, still holds true today. So what they did is they took a group of men and they took a group of women and they categorized these men. So it was like high status, t-shirt, McDonald's. Same thing with the women. High status, t-shirt, McDonald's. And then they asked, the men, okay, would you go to coffee with this person, go on a date, marry? And in all 3 categories, the guy didn't care. It's like, yes, sure, whatever. With women, it was a whole different story. Women went to the high status man for the majority of them. So that was for coffee, date, marriage. My takeaway on this is just goes along with the trends I've been seeing. So we are in this Kardashian culture and have been for, 10 years. I don't know how long they've been on. But this idea of perfection has just been kind of unseen before. I mean, before we had magazines, we knew they were kind of airbrushed, but what we see now, women are doing eyebrows, microblading, dermaplaning, eyelash extensions, hair extensions, lip fillers, cheek fillers, breast implants, butt implants, fat transfer, taking ribs out. I mean, literally women are taking their ribs out. So I think just the pressure and the unattainable beauty that they put on themselves, they're also putting that sort of unattainable image and desire on a guy as well. And that's why these guys are backing out, because guys know, that's crazy. We can't do all that. Some can. I mean, it's the small minority can do that. But for the majority of men, they're not going to be able to get to your high standards that you not only put on yourself, but you're putting on these men too. And I don't even know if women are aware that they're doing that. And if you think about it, it's really a beautiful thing that men will just kind of take you as you are. They don't need you to be high status, or they don't care where you work. If you work at McDonald's or you're making 6 figures and some executive of a company. But look at what we're doing to men. We want them to just be everything. It's unattainable. They're getting out of the market, and rightfully so. So I even asked my brother about this. I said, hey, is this true? Men don't care? He's like, 1,000%. Men could give 2 shits. And I was like, that's going to be a topic then. So anyways, guys, follow for more. Comment below what you think, or, even ask your friends, talk about their experience, and leave it in the comments. Because I think we're onto something.
It is turned into vanity and high status, so shallow.
You know, I see why men are staying single, because look around. We have women out here bragging about not cooking, not cleaning, not taking care of their home, not being soft, and not being supportive. And then expecting a man to show up as a provider, leader, planner, protector, and lover, while giving him absolutely nothing in return. And yes, I will be the one to say it. A home needs a woman who actually enjoys being a woman. A woman who takes pride in making her home feel warm and peaceful. A woman who loves her man in the same way that she wants to be loved. That is not oppression, that is care. Men are tired of being treated like a walking wallet. Tired of disrespect. Tired of begging for affection and a little peace. So, they are choosing to stay single, not because they hate women, but because they are looking for a woman that values her role just as much as his. And honestly, I don't blame them, because relationships only work when both people show up and give.
Men are staying single because so many women want a husband but don't want the work that comes with a real relationship. Marriage used to mean partnership, not convenience.
Ladies, here's the thing. We want men to be husbands. We want the rings and the things. But family, we cannot advocate for marriage without addressing the full picture, the elephant in the room. Women aren't bred to be wives today. Past generations have raised us up to pursue a career. Forget the man. He's an afterthought. Because when the man act up, you have an out, that degree that you can fall back on. And now, family, we have women who have been bred to be more of a husband than a wife. Let's keep it real. What is society teaching us? Look at the propaganda. Look at the social media. We can't continue to come at men for their lack of commitment, but not also state the obvious. There's a shortage of women worth making long-term or lifelong commitments to. We aren't training up wives. We're training up hypersexual, petty, money-hungry, cannot take any accountability, insecure, immature, women that can't even cover a pot, let alone a man. Women with the mentality that anything goes as long as I'm making $1 from it. Hyper independent, attention seeking, career obsessed, not nurturing, selfish, girlfriend at best women. We want men to lock things down. And I agree, men should. But we gotta give them something worth committing to. And our media isn't pushing that agenda. It's keeping us single. So family, ladies, stop buying the lies of culture. That's what's keeping us single. Let us start focus on becoming the wife that God has created you to be.
Marriage is dead. Laws are based on the old traditional ways. Laws need to change to make marriage fair to both parties.
One of the reasons why men run from marriage is because of what it requires from them. Some of the things that I think are required from men in marriage are accountability, transparency, and vulnerability. And if you think about what men are told to be, is really the opposite of that, right? They're meant to be guarded, strong, hypermasculine, not let their guard down. And marriage requires you to strip all of that back and be seen. Marriage really requires you to stand in the light, stand in front of your partner with all of the things that you've been hiding from the rest of the world visible, and break. And this breaking sometimes requires tears, but really it's a man saying, this is where it hurts. This is where I've hidden myself from everybody else. And these are where my wounds are really. I feel for any marriage to be successful, a man must be able to feel he can break. And a woman must be able to receive the pieces that she's given. And I actually think this is really hard for women. I think they can receive the pieces of their girlfriends, right? When your friend is crying to you, you're more than happy to hold her, tell her everything's going to be okay. Because of the effects of patriarchy, because of how we are conditioned, when men show up sensitively, when they are vulnerable in front of us, we actually think that they're weak. And we have to unlearn this. We have to reject the idea that a man showing you where it hurts means that he isn't strong. And I think another toxic thing that women do after the fact is weaponize this weakness. So in conflict, this thing might be brought up and thrown back in your partner's face. And this is one of the most dangerous things you can do to a man, because then he learns that you can't be trusted, then he decides that he can't break in front of you. And that doesn't mean that he's not broken. That doesn't mean he doesn't need your healing hands, your healing touch, your healing love. It just means that he will never, ever offer that to you again.
All of this is also required from women too. Women are a lot worse than previous generations. It's not worth it for men now.
Men aren't walking away from relationships because of the big arguments. They're walking away because you're constantly testing him. If you really loved me, you would do this. Oh, I'm gonna secretly pull back to see how he reacts. If he doesn't react properly, I'm gonna start an argument with him. If he doesn't do blank, he's in trouble, but I'm not gonna say what that is. And also, would you ask a man these questions that you respect? Probably not. And for men, respect is everything. If you want a man to open up, you don't corner him with games. Because when a man feels like every answer he says is wrong, eventually he just stops caring.
All right, I'm gonna say it. Some of y'all aren't gonna like it. Doesn't make it any less true. Here we go. A lot of really good men are leaving marriages. Why is that? Is it because they fell out of love, or is it something else? A lot of what we're seeing now is men leaving marriages, not because they've fallen out of love, but because they feel unappreciated within that marriage. Now, these guys, they work all day, they provide, they make sure you're safe, they make sure you're taken care of. What do they get in return? A lot of them are getting criticism for what they didn't do, as opposed to the thankfulness for what they did. Men are not like women. They don't need a big show of affection. They don't need a parade. They don't need constant gifts. But what they do need is appreciation, gratitude, respect. What they want to hear is that the person they're working so hard for, or the family that they're working so hard for, to say, we appreciate all that hard work you're putting in. We see you. When a man feels unappreciated at home, doesn't matter how much he loves you, at a certain point, he can't keep continuing to pour from an empty cup. He's going to stop trying to pour into a cup that's continually empty. He's also going to stop pouring into a cup that constantly is looked at as half full.
Facts. Chase money, not women.
A third of men, 33%, a little over a third, of men between the ages of 18 and 29 are not only single, but they're not actively looking for a partner. So I've got a question for the men. So my comments are filled with guys saying we're done. We're not looking. We like our peace. I need some more talk from you guys. Tell me why you're done.
You know, I'm seeing more and more of these videos, and honestly, it makes me sad because guys have told women why. We've made it very clear why we're walking away. And we're walking away in droves, and it's only going to get worse because you're not hearing why we're walking away. It's very simple. Don't read between the lines. Hear these words. There is absolutely no benefit anymore to being in a relationship with a woman for a man. None. Zero. Zilch. Especially when you consider the risk compared to any potential reward. Roughly 55% of marriages end in divorce and the guy loses everything. Add into it all the relationships where they weren't married and the guy lost access to his kids and had to pay mountains of child support and so on. When you really look at it, there's less than a 1 in 4 chance of having a successful relationship. Would you risk?
There are no benefits to marriage anymore. Females have huge body counts and are far too entitled.
Why aren't men getting married anymore? It's not because they hate love or they're against love. It's because the system is actually stacked against them. In 1960, 72% of adults were married, and today it's barely 50%. And among men under 30, it's pretty much nowhere. Here's why. Divorce courts, they'll take all of the man's money, they'll take the kids, they'll take the house. 90% of child custody goes to women, and men pay millions in child support and alimony every year. Then there's the happy wife, happy life culture where men sacrifice everything to keep the peace. Meanwhile, if a man wants traditional roles, it's labeled as toxic. So men naturally ask themselves, what is the upside? And for a lot of guys, there isn't one. It's not that men in general hate commitment. They hate commitment to a system that is designed to punish them for existing. Till marriage becomes a partnership and not a legal liability, men will continue to keep saying, no thanks. Do you think men are right to walk away from the thought of marriage, or do you think that marriage is still worth it? Let me know in the comments.
Many women are selfish and entitled, who feels the man's entire purpose in the relationship or marriage is to make her happy, comfortable, relaxed, and stress-free. Any enjoyment that the man gets out of the relationship is purely coincidental.
Millennial and like Gen Z men, like men in our age groups, they're twice as likely as women to say that they're not dating, they're not having sex, they're not even trying to, because they feel like nobody would want to. Which is like crazy that they're so self-aware to know that. But like, no. But like in all seriousness, like I think there's a real challenge with young men. And I think it's like, it might not even be about them. Like it might not even be about the woman in their life. It's like the same thing where I'm sure you've had experiences like yourself as well. You're feeling so shit about yourself, then how are you supposed to like give love to other people? Or when you're thinking like, oh, well, why bother investing and like even buying somebody something nice for a first date because it always goes shit. And I was really shocked when I read that because I was like, maybe there's something like deeper happening. I don't know.
Look, you can't treat future partners based off past experience. That's not fair to the future people. And like we've all had bad relationships. We've all been, fucking sewered in the past. We've all had bad things happen to us in relationships and in love. You cannot carry that forward. I think that's part of the breakup, where when you break up after a shitty breakup or a shitty relationship, you need to heal. Because if you bring that trauma forward, you're not doing anybody like anything good. I've done it. I've done that in the past where I've brought in previous relationships into current ones and I've hurt people. And it's like, I'm not saying these people I hurt were fucking innocent by any means, but did they deserve what I did to them? Absolutely not. And I did it to them just because I was carrying previous pain forward.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, after a breakup, take time to heal.
Yeah, and I think this is probably why, guys are being more careful with marriage and who they marry and not rushing into marriage because, like you just said, if it's a relationship and things don't work out and you're unhappy, you always have that option to break up or leave without any penalty for it. But once you're legally bound by marriage, things don't work out, you have no way out. And even if you do what's right for you and leave, you're going to be screwed later.
Some of you are confused about men in thinking that they're going to stick around no matter what if they're a good man. False, because a good man will stop trying if he's feeling unwanted. And that's out of respect for you, because he doesn't want to feel like he's forcing you into anything. He just wants you to want him. And he has tried time and time again to fix things. But at some point, he's going to be done with begging and he's going to walk away.
In time, the man will give up. Understandably so, modern women are turning into a new type of headache.
How does a woman take care of a man?
What do you mean?
How should a woman take care of a man?
She shouldn't have to.
At all?
No.
Then why should a man date a woman?
What kind of question is that?
Like, what value would you provide to a man?
What? That's a crazy question.
What do you mean?
You shouldn't have to provide some value to a man.
Then what's the point of the relationship?
What value do they provide to us?
Protecting you, providing for you.
This is exactly why so many men are just done with dating. Because I have said this before and I will say it again. A man is taught his entire life how to treat a woman. But a woman is taught her entire life how to be treated by a man, not how to treat a man. Ladies, if you want the benefits of a man, you need to put forth some amount of effort. It doesn't even need to be as much effort as him. It just needs to be something, because that is what indicates to a man that you're actually interested in him. And honestly, when one person is carrying all of the load of the relationship, well, how is that fun?
We don't want drama and entitlement for sure. Bye-bye.
Here's the sad truth. More and more men are checking out from dating. They're checking out from relationships because they no longer see the value of being in a relationship. I understand why in this current day and age, more and more men are actually opting out of being in a relationship. I don't think this is a good development, but I do understand. And there's something that we women can do to help men regain the trust in committed relationships. And this is why I decided to make this video today, to help you understand as a woman how you can help men regain the trust in relationships. We all need relationships. We need love. We need each other. We need companionship. And a beautiful, healthy, committed relationship is so beautiful. I wish that for everyone. And this is why I make these videos. I want to help rebalance masculine and feminine dynamics within the relationship. I think this is such a big proponent of the unhappiness that we are experiencing today. And I hope that via my videos, I can actually help people understand that we do need each other. As I have spoken about before in my other videos, men are feeling displaced in society. With the liberation of women, in career, in financial freedom, in society, which is fantastic, because if that wasn't the case, I would not be here and be able to speak my mind as a woman. I am a big supporter of equality and feminine liberation. However, we do need to understand that it can also cause a disbalance. And there's a shift in society going on right now where a lot of men feel displaced. They do not know their place in society or in relational structures anymore, because there's such a huge shift with women rising up in ranks and really not needing men anymore. So this calls for women to be more conscious about their position towards men. Now let's get into the points why men are checking out from relationships and why they're not committing anymore. The first important point is that men are feeling controlled in relationships. Because women are now more liberated, they can take care of themselves, they can speak their minds like I'm doing currently. Hooray! This also causes women to get a bit more bossy. They think they know how everything works. They think that their opinion is the one that we should follow. Oftentimes you see this happen in relationships as well, where women are the ones leading the relationship. They're taking over control from their man and they're not letting the man lead in the relationship. Now, it doesn't mean that a woman should not take the lead in that. This is not what I'm trying to say. But it is translating in a lot of different aspects in the relationships that women are now controlling men and not offering men the space to step up or speak their mind or take the lead or form the structure within the relationship. And that is what men used to do. So this means that men feel displaced because they do not have a function in the modern relationship anymore. As they saw with their father, with their grandfather, who were the head of the household, who were the framework. Women were in the kitchen, but that doesn't mean that we need to go back to those kind of structures. I do believe that masculine and feminine dynamics can be a choice within the relationship. And this is something that we need to realize. We need to stop controlling men, and within the relationship, we need to allow the man to lead, to step into his masculine energy and to form the framework within the relationship. And this, ladies, requires a lot of trust from your side, because I know a lot of women have trouble trusting men. And this is a topic for another video, but you need to trust the masculine drive and the masculine agency of your partner. Of course, you can speak your mind, but it's how you communicate it to your man. You can make it more of a suggestion instead of, you have to do it this way, we have to do it that way. No, that's not right. The more and more you control your man that way within the relationship, the less he will step up in his masculine energy and the more you're feminizing your man. So this is a conscious choice that you as a woman has to make. You have to stop controlling your man by leaning into your feminine, changing the way you communicate your man. Don't be demanding, don't be controlling, make suggestions, offer input. If he makes the wrong choice, so be it. Everyone makes wrong choices sometimes, and so do you, little lady. Don't deny it. You've made stupid choices too. I make dumb decisions as well. Everyone does. So allow for your man to make those choices and incorrect choices as well. And later on, invite him for an open chat about what went wrong, how you can do differently next time, and suggest how you would have done it. Open, warm communication. Not controlling, not demanding, but soft, open, warm communication. This is your partner. You love him, right? So show this in your communication and how you treat each other. Treat him with love. Come on, you're in a relationship. Now, this is a very important point, why a lot of men are deciding not to get into a committed relationship, because they have experienced this with a woman before. A controlling woman who nags them, who tries to emasculate them and feminize them and take away the space for him to step into his masculine energy. And if you have a masculine man, they're not game for that. They run. So if you're looking to attract a masculine partner who will be the framework, who will be your support, who will look after you and provide for you, then this is not the way to treat them. Another reason that a lot of men, especially masculine, successful men, are not committing, they do not want to step into a relationship with a woman who is in her masculine energy. And a lot of women, I bet 90% of all women, maybe even more, are in their masculine energy. And I've spoken about this before. This is because women are now also in the work field. We also have to hustle and grind to make our careers. We're boss babes. However, these boss babes take their bossiness home to the relationship and their man.
We're done being ignored, looked over, and treated like we're invisible until we threaten to walk away. Either both voices get heeded and valued or just keep to yourselves, one or the other. And that's it for today on Sigma Traits. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring that notification bell. Support this channel through membership. You can also support through PayPal, link in the description. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. See you all tomorrow.